Brenda with Vintage Adventure, and I've got another ASMR term paper reading for you. This one is from course Journalism 385. I have no idea what course that was. It was a creative project creating a print ad, and I ended up getting an A on that. That must have been Mike Norman. That kind of looks like his writing. R.I.P. Mike Norman. He was the author of Haunted Wisconsin, Haunted America, Historic Haunted America. He was my advisor while I was an undergraduate student with a double major in journalism and art. And here is the ad. And some of the folks from the thrifting and eBay part of my channel might groove on seeing this. This is an old school ad. It's got like the tape, paste up of graphics and typography that's created in a CompuGraphic type machine. The flying horses landed at Antique Alley in Somerset, Wisconsin. This was my brother's antique store next to my mom's when he opened it. So, it doesn't have a date on here. I'm guessing this is 86, 87. We're the newest antique and collectible dealer co-op in the St. Croix Valley, featuring primitives to 1950s in a unique automobilia setting. We're 8 miles from Stillwater, Minnesota on Wisconsin Highway 3564, half-mile west of Somerset and next door to Somerset Antiques. That was my mom's store, offering you one-stop shopping, plenty of parking and outdoor flea markets, May 23rd, July, June, and September. Mention this ad and receive 10% off. I don't even know where this ad went or if it published, if this was just a fake project, but yeah, I'm thinking this is like 85, 86, 87 has to be. If you look at this, dot matrix printing, this was from a Mac, 512 KE maybe, or 512 Mac Plus maybe it was, that I purchased with my student loan of $2,500 in the way back. So let's take a look. Most people think of antique shops as dark, dusty places with creepy old furniture and tons of glassware packed in every corner and run by a little old lady. Other people think of an expensive antiques with crafts mall and a tourist town. Antique Alley in Somerset, Wisconsin is different. It is one of the only shops in the country with a unifying theme running throughout the shop. Antique Alley has on display the owner's private collection of auto memorabilia. Along with the automobilia decor, Antique Alley has a classic car or two for sale. Another unique feature of Antique Alley is the wide variety of merchandise. Antique Alley has country, primitives, Victorian, Art Deco, and 1950s and 1960s collectibles. The wide selection, especially items such as toys, vintage clothing, jukeboxes, horse-drawn carriages, and auto memorabilia will appeal to the most special collector or collector-to-be. Market orientation. At an established antique shop next door to Antique Alley, a general analysis over the past 5 years has indicated that consumers fall into several categories: Sunday afternoon drivers or tourists, metro area baby boomers, metro area antique dealers, and local people who furnish their homes in antiques. Consumers in categories 3 and 4 generally seek out antique shops and are regular customers. Advertising in local weekly newspapers and the antique section of the Sunday newspaper classified section will fulfill the advertising needs for these customers. Consumers in Category 1 are an important target, and the advertising plan for this market includes a large readable billboard and advertisements in tourism brochures and tabloids for the Apple River and for Rivertown, Stillwater, Minnesota. The group of consumers this ad is developed for is 25 to 40-year-old consumers or baby boomers. These consumers are probably starting families and perhaps buying their first home. This group comprises a large portion of the population and the buying power. According to Contemporary Advertising by Cortland Bovey and William Aarons, consumers in this category have a heavy usage pattern of furniture, houses, cars, and clothing. In 1986 and 1987, several television shows and movies used and thus in a sense promoted 1940s, 50s, and 60s related clothing, furnishing, and cars. Recently, advertisements on national television networks have featured music of the 50s and 60s and are directed at the baby boomer segment of the market. In 1986, an issue of Life magazine had a feature stories on 1950s collectibles and the increasing popularity of these among young people. According to one of the dealers at Lagoon Antiques in Minneapolis, Minnesota, urban baby boomers comprise a large part of Lagoon's market. The best medium to use for this segment of the market would be inner-city tabloids that float around the skyways of the metro areas. The Twin Cities Reader, City Pages, and Skyway News would be good vehicles for display advertising. These papers tend to feature and keep up with trends in fashion, furnishings, entertainment, and art. Another advantage to these vehicles is the free distribution. People tend to voluntarily pick up reading material that is free. This medium was also picked for its cost factor. A 2-column by 6-inch display ad in the Twin Cities Reader costs $490. Advertising the classified section of the Reader costs $320 per column inch. The appeal used in this ad is uniqueness. The copy platform contains a mystifying element. The headline, "The Flying Horses Landed," should pique readers' interest so that they will read further into the body copy. The appeal of the body copy is informational, although the graphic element of the flying horse, the headline, and the mention of automobilia theme in the body copy relates to illustrate the uniqueness of Antique Alley. The benefit of another antique store next door and plenty of parking will appeal to consumers' wants and convenience. The body copy contains informational facts about Antique Alley, including the automobilia feature and the location. The location is repeated at the bottom for the reader's convenience, and the shop hours are also set off at the bottom. The repetition of location and hours will allow a reader who doesn't read the body copy to skim the most important information. An inclusion of direct action for the potential customer is the line, "Mention this ad and receive 10% off." Because this is basically an informational ad, this direct action will offer the potential customer a special reward for visiting Antique Alley. Design. It is known that the reader's eye travels from left to right in a downward motion in an ad. The strong black graphic takes the reader's eye from the upper left to the lower right, where the call for action is contained: hours, location, phone, and discount. I use the repeated logo to add visual movement to the ad. The headline works with the illustration, body copy, and logo to give unity to the ad. Because the flying force has been associated with the automobile, the unification of graphic elements and automobile theme in the shop are reinforced. The logo has been used in other advertisements and is used in the billboard in front of the shop. Hopefully this logo and the reinforcement of the graphic on this ad and future advertisements will establish the identity of Antique Alley. Incidentally, when the logo was under development, the owner contacted a lawyer to make sure that this rendering of the flying horse would not infringe on Mobil Oil's flying horse. The lawyer said the graphic was changed sufficiently and that there would be a problem if the logo was to be used in a petroleum products business. Typography. The use of a typographic wraparound helped to integrate the illustration and the copy. This technique was also used to create an interesting design because of the substantial amount of informational copy. The type on the wraparound was originally set unjustified on both right and left margins. This left a gaping white space to the upper left of the logo that didn't help the design. The first 8 lines were then set flush left so the copy would take up less space and allow more white space above the logo and call for action, thus setting it off from the rest of the ad. The white space looks better below the copy and above the logo line that runs across the ad. I use the typeface Helvetica Light for both the headline and the body copy. Helvetica is easy to read and has a traditional look. Although it is a familiar typeface, it has strong characters and can be traditional yet modern with the use of the light face. The call for action was set off by a rule and typeset flush right to help balance the ad. In one of the rough designs, the logo was used under the large graphic, and this proved to make the ad too heavy on the lower right side. The information in the lower right side is set off by white space below the body copy and also by the rule that continues from the box around the logo. In the case that a reader doesn't read the body copy, perhaps the white space and rule will guide his or her eye to the call for action. Future advertising appeals. The unique automobilia theme, the convenience of two shops next door to each other, and value will be used in future ads. Since the opening of Antique Alley on March 1st, guessing that's 1987, about 30% of the sales have been to other antique dealers. A copy platform of buy where the dealers buy or low prices will be emphasized in future ads. So here's an advertising plan with the messages, the bibliography, that's the book that I read. Here's the mock-up. Here's some different designs. Oh, here's a book review stuck in there. I'll read that next. And then we have the final, what they call K stuff or key line of the ad. That was to use a T-square and make sure that all the pay stuff is straight. You'd have this on your drawing table with a T-square on the bottom so it was straight. Thank you for listening. Peace out.